West Side Story is the newest Steven Spielberg movie and is a remake of a classic movie that I have never seen. I have never seen the musical film West Side Story. I know, that is crazy. So going in, of course, I didn't fully know what I was expecting, especially since I did watch a few scenes of the movie before going into this. So I did kind of get like a general feel of what I was about to watch. But other than that, I knew absolutely nothing. I didn't even watch a trailer for for this latest remake, so I was kind of prepared, but I also wasn't. So seeing this film, I am actually quite surprised because I know I haven't watched the original, and I promise I really do, and I really should. But even I can tell that there's such a keen eye for what Steven Spielberg is doing here. He really respects the source material, and I can definitely see that through his directing and the way he shoots this film and the way it looks and the way the production design is. It's all very very well done. So those are kind of my like basic thoughts. So with that being said, let's get into the good. First thing that I'd love to say is that everything technical in this film is brilliant. It's masterclass, it's top tier. And I didn't really expect anything less coming from, Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and a bunch of other movies. I didn't really expect less from him in terms of that, but there is definitely something here that needs to be praised. And if there was something absolutely to be praised about this film, it would be its production design. I loved every second of the visuals. I was blown away by a lot of sequences and how they played out. It was very, very well done. It had a very distinct a very distinct look to it, and I think it really, really worked with the film. Another thing that I really adored is how powerful this film really is. It packs a serious punch. The themes that it talks about, the way it tells them, the tragedy, it's awesome. It is very well done, and it actually got me really invested in the story. I really wanted to see what happened. Well, I really wanted to see what happened next all the time. I was never bored. I always had a good time. And this movie is like 2.5 hours long. So that is very impressive to keep me on like that. Um, One more thing is that I really think that Steven Spielberg really understood what he was making. The technicality of the film, it feels so incredibly respectful to the source material, and it never feels like it disrespects it, but it also always feels like it's its own movie in a way, at least from what I've seen. So I don't know if that will stay a good, but from what I've seen, it is its own film, and even if there are a lot of similarities, there is, to me, it feels like, at least from the clips I saw, it feels like it has its own uniqueness. But that being said, I don't know. That may change. So that's actually a good way to lead into my negative, my bad. So let's do that. I will say one of the things that kind of bothered me is that even though there are some very, very good performances in this film, the acting does feel wooden at times, and it doesn't necessarily feel earned. Um, like there are scenes where it kind of feels like it just it doesn't fully get there because the acting it isn't really shown to its true potential. But that being said, that's really like that doesn't really, it doesn't really amount to much of my enjoyment of the movie. I still really enjoyed it, but that is one problem I did have. I also do think that it does get a little time to get into. I will admit I was a little bored at the beginning of the film, but then as it picked up, I started to get into it. Oh, I actually I wouldn't say I was bored, but I was constantly trying to figure out what was happening, and I didn't really click with me like where the story was necessarily going. It felt kind of a little bit all over the place in a sense, and so therefore it got a little hard to get into at first, but then I ended up really enjoying it. So, and my last thing I do want to talk about is there are sometimes some things that could have been trimmed here and there in scenes, but overall I really did enjoy myself. I think this is a really good just take your family to the movies kind of film. It has some great messages. It's a good movie to learn from. You'll enjoy it. It's very very good. It's very funny. It's fast paced. So this film was enjoyable. I really enjoyed it, and I think Steven Spielberg did a very very good job. So with all that being said, I'm going to give West Side Story a B plus. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Look forward to a lot more coming soon because I've watched a shit ton of movies and I can't wait to review them all. So until then, I will see you in the next video.